It is with pure, unadulterated joy that I bring to you my Guyanese Souse and wine pairing. Very excited for this. So, souse is a very simple dish, okay? It's simple in the sense that, like with most things that are dear to our heart when it comes to cuisine from the Caribbean, it's rooted in history and tradition. But it's simple in the sense that its origins came from what one might call like a peasant way of thinking or cooking or peasant food. But now the funny thing is, because of that rich history and tradition, we generally only make it here on special occasions. You're having a big fete, people are coming over, someone's putting on a pot of souse. The pot of souse is not just, oh, I want to celebrate, I'm going to give you some souse, but it has a good purpose. People always say, listen, if there's going to be a lot of drinking at an event or at a party, you need a pot of souse to sap up alcohol, to rejuvenate people, to sober them up. And so souse is something that you will find if you know you're going to have a big fete, someone's making a pot of souse, okay? The best way to describe souse, if you are not from the Caribbean or you've never had souse before, I would say think of head cheese. Our souse is made generally with pig's feet. People also use cow heel or chicken foot as well. And don't turn up your nose at those things, because the original head cheese, and you still find some head cheese like that today, would have similar cuts of meat, the brain of the animal, the ear, all kinds of things. But of course, the head cheese is served in more of like a dense and gelatinous type format. Our souse is not served that way, but with these cuts of meat, it does have a gelatinous texture to it, but we serve ours more around room temperature. But if you were to let souse chill in the fridge, it would come out looking like a terrine, but less dense because of the liquid that's involved. So now that we've talked about souse, let me tell you how it's made so you can get an idea of what to expect on the palate. So what happens is the meat is boiled until tender, right? Once it's tender, it's then set into a mixture of water, vinegar, thyme, scallion, onion, cucumber, other seasonings as well to taste. And yes, we do add some wiri pepper, but listen people, the wiri is to add to the flavor of the dish. It's not to dominate the dish, okay? So this is not one of those things where people have that myth that Caribbean food is all too hot and spicy. Our food is spicy for flavor, but not spicy for spicy heat. And this is the situation with this dish. Anyhow, after that's done and it soaks for a period of time, we then bring it to room temperature and we put some cucumber on top and then we serve it. So what you can expect from the dish is that it's going to be, you see the cow foot, the cow heel. It's going to be like a lot of acidity in there, a lot of spices as well, very flavorful. So I'm gonna go ahead and give our souse a try. The moment I've been waiting for. That's really good. You're getting, for sure, the salinity. It's one of the first things that pump out. And that vinegar, but now that it's got the herb in it, think of like a herb vinaigrette. You're getting a bit of that as well. You're also getting the impact from the beef, like the boiled down beef. Mine has beef in it, so I'm getting the impact of that. That kind of flavoring you get from like boiled down meat. Think of beef cured in vinegar, but then you bring some herb into that to just round out the taste. And the herb I'm tasting the most in this is broadleaf thyme, which, when it's fresh is ridiculous. So I will tell you, for my souse, I pair that with Off-Dry Riesling. And I do that for a couple of reasons. So I go off-dry. And going off-dry Riesling allows me to kill a couple of birds with one stone. One, it being off-dry. If the chef went a little too crazy with the wiri, I know that the sugar or the sweetness in this wine will help to counteract that. But two, and probably my biggest reason, is your Riesling's gonna come with like a healthy amount of acid. And I already talked about the acid and the flavor profile in this dish. High acid wines go great, like Riesling goes great with like a high acid type dish. So that's a wonderful match made in heaven. And also, another reason, the weight because this is off-dry, so there's a little bit of weight in the wine. The weight that you get from that sugar in the wine also goes well with this boiled down cut of meat. It's match made in heaven. Yeah. And now, like usual, I'm gonna start eating talking with my mouth full. Yeah, man. Souse and Off-Dry Riesling.